guys, welcome to another video. Today we're reviewing Corpse Bride. This film came out in 2005 and was directed by Tim Burton and stars Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. Now before we start, hit that like button, subscribe to post notifications, posting every video, and let's just start. Let's start talking about the good. So all the actors and actors in this film are great. I really enjoyed all the actors and actresses' voice performances in this entire film. The opening sequence, I thought it was good. It is the citizens preparing for a wedding. The According to Plan song is the entire scene, and it's great. I really like that song in the film. I'll get to Danny Elfman later, but that song is a great way to start off this film. The animation is phenomenal. The stop motion animation is easily one of the best. Very creepy. Tim Burton made this film intentionally creepy, and I can tell you right now that this film is one of the creepiest looking Tim Burton films that he's ever made. The first look of the film I thought was very well done. It sets the characters well. I liked each of the characters that were set up on screen, and I thought they're all interesting and fun characters. Victor and Victoria's wedding sequence in the first act of the film, I thought it was a good scene. It worked because it showed their relationship in the film, and I thought it worked very well for the first act. There's also a great relationship between Victor, played by Johnny Depp, and Victoria Everglade as a human, played by Emily Watson. They are fantastic. They really, Tim Burton fleshes out their relationship in this film, and then something, of course, tragic happens. And I'll get to that later, but their relationship with each other is very well done in the first act of the film. There's also a great relationship between Victor and Emily the Corpse, played by Helena Bonham Carter. She's great. Helena Bonham Carter is fantastic. They have a very unique relationship because, of course, in the beginning, Victor is very scared of Emily the Corpse because she's, of course, dead. His bride is dead, and she is now resurrected, trying to marry him again. And I thought it worked very well, and it added to the comedy for this film. The second half of the film was very entertaining. I really enjoyed the second half of the film, where you're introduced to one of the villains in the film, well, the main villain, Lord Barkis Bittern, which I'll get to later. But overall, the second half of the film was very entertaining. There are also some hilarious sequences, mainly with Finniss Evergott, played by Albert Finney. He is very funny in this film. More funny than I expected, and it added to the levity of the film. Lord Barkis Bittern, played by Richard E. Grant, is a good villain. I really enjoyed Richard E. Grant in this film. His voice performance was fantastic. He influences Victoria's parents to marry her, and I thought it worked very well because his character just looks like a villain. He looks like a villain, a typical villain inside of this film, but he does have a little bit more to do in this film. The third act of the film is very entertaining. It includes Victor and Emily's wedding and the Land of the Dead terrorizing Victoria's family, which worked very well because the Land of the Dead just show up in this wedding. And it makes sense because, Corpse Bride, she's dead, all these dead people showing up at the wedding. It works very well. There's also a great reveal of Lord Barkis being poor. He really married Victoria for her money, and that's revealed in the third act of the film. And I thought that part made sense for the overall story because he is a villain, so he has to go down some way. And I think it worked for his sort of turning point for Emily because Victoria, because she realized that Lord Barkis was only marrying her for her money, and that was in the third act of the film. There's also a great reveal in the third act of the film that Lord Barkis was the one who killed Emily the Corpse. When he was going to marry her, he ended up killing Emily the Corpse, and it works very well because it really explains how Emily the Corpse, of course, became Emily the Corpse. The score by Danny Elfman is great. I really enjoyed his score for this film. Victor's piano solo is one of the best songs that Danny Elfman has ever composed, and it's phenomenal. The entire scene, it lasts for about 2 minutes, and it's beautiful. It's fantastic. The ending sequence, I thought was great. It's basically Lord Barkis. He's eaten off screen by the Land of the Dead. Victor marries Victoria, and Emily the Corpse dies again and turns into butterflies. I think it works because it shows, moving on after death, and I thought it really fit the ending sequence, of course, with the villain dying, the heroes being triumphant, and I think it overall worked for a great ending. That's all the good I have. Now to move on to the bad. So some sequences do drag a bit. There's mainly one sequence featuring the song If He Only Knew the You That We Know. That song went on for a little bit too long. If it could have been condensed, I think it would have been a much, much better sequence. That's about it. Corpse Bride is a fantastic animated film. Definitely one of my favorite Tim Burton films, and I highly recommend it. And I'm going to give Corpse Bride an A-. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, post notification bell so you know for a video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.